name's Adam. I'm at Adelaide Airport and today I'll be flying to Alice Springs in the Red Centre with Qantas, but the flight is operated by Alliance Airlines on one of their Embraer E190 aircrafts, which you can see just behind me there. It's a 6:15 a.m. flight, so let's go check it out. Because this is an early morning flight, I decided to spend the previous night at the airport hotel, which is connected directly to the terminal, but I'm taking the scenic route for some fresh air before having to put on a face mask. Face masks are currently compulsory in all Australian airports. Check-in is located on level 2. You can use the Qantas self-service kiosks to check in. You might think this looks like a standard Qantas boarding pass, but look at the bottom left. Bag drop is also self-service. At the time of recording, Melbourne is in lockdown and border restrictions are in place limiting travel, so most flights to Melbourne have been cancelled. Here's my aircraft, a 14-year-old Embraer E190 AR. AR is short for Advanced Range. It was built in Brazil and has spent most of its working life in Central and South America, including flying for Copa Airlines, the flag carrier for Panama. It was delivered to Alliance Airlines in March 2021. The Alliance aircraft flying for Qantas will eventually be repainted into the QantasLink livery. The Embraer E190 is a regional jet. This one seats 94 passengers. Alliance's E190s began service from Adelaide on the 25th of May this year. There are 10 business class seats in a 2x1 configuration. There are 84 economy seats in a 2x2 configuration, so no middle seats. The overhead luggage bins are narrow, so rollerboard carry-on luggage generally needs to be placed sideways rather than wheels first. Alliance is purchasing a total of 30 E190s and they'll be flying for QantasLink and potentially Virgin Australia. E190s are known for their large windows. The aircraft were purchased at a substantial discount given the impact the pandemic has had on aviation. Today's flight is very lightly loaded. I'd say only about 1/3 full.
Please place any larger bags in the overhead lockers and smaller bags underneath the seat in front of you. If you're sitting at a bulkhead or at the exit row, please place all baggage in overhead lockers.
Leg room is very good. The seat pitch is 31 inches.
Make sure you're in your allocated seat with your seatbelt firmly fastened. Once again, welcome aboard. We look forward to flying to Alice Springs with you today.
A little bit of last minute break, which is getting put on the aircraft. We're just waiting for that to get finalised. It will be underway very, very shortly. Once we get underway, the flight time up to Alice is just on 2 hours.
While we know some of you might fly with us often, we would appreciate your attention during the safety briefing today. Everyone is required to wear a face mask on this flight. The mask must cover your nose, mouth and chin. Please observe your crew for the correct way to wear a face mask.
We pushed back about 20 minutes late. Apparently we had to wait for some freight to be loaded. Qantas currently has 3 Embraer E190s under a wet lease with Alliance Airlines, with more on the way. These aircraft are based in Adelaide and Darwin and fly between Adelaide, Alice Springs and Darwin for the QantasLink brand. A wet lease means the aircraft, crew and maintenance are all provided by Alliance Airlines.
Ladies and gentlemen, government regulations prohibit smoking on all flights. Smoking on the aircraft is a fire hazard and smoke detectors have been fitted in the toilets. Your seatbelt must now be firmly fastened.
Qantas previously used its Boeing 737s on this route, but because the E190 only carries about half as many passengers, the frequency can be increased. So there's now 2 daily Qantas flights on weekdays from Adelaide to Alice Springs. we're treated to the beautiful sight of the twinkling lights of Adelaide framed beneath a glorious sunrise. Qantas has announced many new routes using the E190, including Adelaide to Cairns, Hobart and Townsville. The aircraft features reading lights and adjustable air vents. All passengers can grab a free Fly Well kit containing a face mask and sanitising wipes before boarding. There is a large tray table, although you can't move it forward and back. Today's route takes us over the Spencer Gulf, past Oodnadatta at a cruise altitude of 36,000 feet before descending into the Red Centre. The route is about 730 nautical miles, or 1,350 kilometres, taking just under 2 hours. As this is the advanced range version of the aircraft, it's capable of flying almost 2,500 nautical miles, so could easily fly from one side of Australia to the other. There's no entertainment system, charging points or Wi-Fi, but the view is more than enough for me. Look at the way the sunrise reflects off the left side of the cabin. Just stunning. Because this flight is under 3.5 hours, we are offered a refreshment rather than a meal, followed by tea, coffee and cold drinks. The ciabatta is warmed up and doesn't look great, but it is actually quite tasty. The crew offer everyone a second ciabatta, but I brought my own snack to try and be a bit healthier. There are two lavatories, one at the front for business passengers and this one at the back for everyone else. It's functional. Economy seats have a modest recline.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain switch on to seatbelt signs. You just might expect the turbulence. Please remain seated with your seatbelt firmly fastened. The tour is not to use this stage, thank you.
We experience some minor turbulence as we fly through cloud layers not far from Alice Springs. As we're approaching our destination, let's look at the fares for this route. This flight cost me 135 Australian dollars one way, which is half the cost of the usual discount economy fare. The federal government is covering half the cost of flights to 13 destinations, including Alice Springs and Adelaide. It's part of a $1.2 billion package to support the aviation industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to COVID-19, domestic travel restrictions may be in place. Please ensure you have checked the latest government advice and that you are eligible for entry to your destination. If you are not eligible, you may be denied entry or required to undertake hotel quarantine, possibly at your own expense. If you have any questions regarding entry requirements, you should contact the relevant government department on arrival. We're about to prepare the cabin for landing, so please return to the seat allocated on your boarding pass. Small handheld electronic devices may continue to be used for landing, though laptop computers and other large devices must be put away. Please ensure your bags are in the overhead lockers or underneath the seat in front of you.
Keep watching to see row upon row of wide-body aircraft stored in the desert at Alice Springs Airport.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Alice Springs. QantasLink would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land. The local time is 8:36 AM. As the seatbelt sign is still on, please remain seated with your seatbelt firmly fastened. Today we'll be exiting by the stairs. For safety reasons, please use the handrail and designated walkway and refrain from using electronic devices between the aircraft and the terminal.
This Silkair 737 MAX has been in storage at Alice Springs since October 2019. It's about to fly back to Singapore and hopefully return to service soon.
The use of e-cigarettes is not permitted while disembarking or throughout the terminal.
Here's a last look at our aircraft. These are very comfortable little jets to fly on. From here, it will continue on to Darwin before flying back to Adelaide. It took about 15 minutes to go through the Northern Territory border checks, which are in place because of the pandemic. This shot is from the following day when I was returning to Adelaide. Alice Springs is a relatively small regional airport, located about 14 kilometres from the city it serves. It takes quite a while for our luggage to arrive because the ground staff are focused on getting the flights to Darwin and Adelaide away first. Here's another view of the 100 plus aircraft in storage here. The dry desert air is perfect for preserving them, but hopefully it won't be too long before some of them return to the skies. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be grateful if you can hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you soon.